Before y'all come and jump me, just know I have my reasons why I've been going. Like, I have so much stuff to tell y'all. I know y'all tried to caught me on TikTok. I know y'all did. Y'all know I love me some TikTok, but I swear I was gonna be back. This is probably gonna end up being a 2-part series or a 30-minute video, but compared to TikTok, me just uploading a 15-second, 3-minute video, I thought it would be nothing, to keep uploading, but I haven't forgot about y'all. So before I start this video, if you really want to get a daily meeting me, you probably need to catch me on TikTok, and I will definitely add that to the video on here. But I want to tell y'all what I've been through, and when I tell you that I've been through hell, I've been through hell. And this is the absolute con of travel nursing. The shit we do for money, man, I'm telling you, but as a Black nurse, I feel like I have it 10 times worse. So before I left off, I told y'all that I worked in the ED, right? I worked in the ED back in Fresno, okay? I'm gonna tell y'all the fucking hospitals and everything. It's gonna be a no-go for me, man. I worked in the ED. I have no previous experience in the ED, but when I told y'all I catched on, right? So when I was in the ED, I was just kicking it, getting my work done, and I was working 5 12s a week. Let me tell you, I was making bankroll. I was making money, or at least I thought I was making money, So here I am, I'm working, right? We come in, I'm working days, right? I should have worked nights. And maybe it would have went real smoothly. But I worked days, and I was only contracted for about 6 weeks. And then even a few days into the contract, they already sent me an extension. Like I said before, I was like, maybe I should sign it, maybe I shouldn't. But this place was a shit show. We ain't had no supplies. We rarely had any techs. We rarely had any nurses. So the last video you got out of me, it was particularly around New Year's, right? So let me tell you what happened. Stay tuned. Let me tell you what happened. I come into work one day. This is right after New Year's. New Year's Day, actually. New Year's Eve. New Year's Day. I don't know. One of them, right? I come to work, and the person we have a morning huddle, right? The person that comes in, she says that she's charged for today. Supposedly, she's never been charged before. Actually, it was a man, right? It was the first day. It was a man that come in. He said, I never done charged before, but we're going to start the huddle and stuff like that. And they pass out sheets with the names of what you're supposed to do, what area you're supposed to go to, okay? So I'm looking at the sheet. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm probably going to be, passing pills over here, or I'm probably going to be taking care of the rooms over here. You know what I'm saying? And I look at, they got me working as an aide. I guess they call it a PCT. Back here in Oklahoma, we call them aides. So they call them patient care techs, right? So they had my name on there, and it says LVN on there. I'm like, they got me working as a PCT. I'm like, I already know where this job is going. Yeah, it's a lot of money, but I never signed up for that. And here's why, okay? So I'm asking the guy, I'm like, y'all got me working as a PCT here. I'm willing to help out when I can, but understand, you ain't getting no 3-for-1 special out of me. And this is exactly what they did. He was like, I know, well, can you please just work as a tech today? I need you to just go handle the vitals and help with the admissions with the RN and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm gonna help you just for today, but I'm just letting you know, my contract says this, not this. Just making them understand, because maybe your manager didn't tell you, but I'm telling you, I ain't gonna keep putting up with that shit. My back, my knees can't handle it. I don't give a fuck what y'all say. I can't do it no more. So they had me working as a tech for the day. I'm helping out with the admissions. I'm helping out with vitals. And then when I get on the floor, we midday into the floor, okay? It's going pretty smooth. Then they like, okay, the LVN that was actually training me, she's a cool person, you know what I'm saying? She was like, listen, nobody's coming to relieve me. I'm hungry. I ain't had no lunch and stuff like that. And she was working in the front, right? Helping with all the people that comes in the ED, watching over them, helping out with the procedures and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, they got me working as a tech over here, but hopefully they'll be cool with it, you know what I'm saying? But this is why I knew they didn't have nobody. And it was just odd, after New Year's Eve, none of your techs showed up? And then half of the nurses didn't show up? Where are they at? They was like, oh, I don't know what happened. They all called in. they either partying or they got COVID. I know what the deal is. The first day I let it slide. So I relieved the LPN, you know what I'm saying? So I'm seeing her doing tech work, and I'm working as an LVN helping with the procedures. And remind you, I'm the only LVN in the front. We supposed to have 2 in the tech, okay? I'm the only one in the front. So we had people in wheelchairs. You had some people in wheelchairs that couldn't take themselves into the bathrooms. And remind you, in orientation, they said no LVN is allowed to leave this premises. You know what I'm saying? The tech is supposed to be taking people to the bathrooms and assisting with certain things, you know, miscellaneous type of stuff. But they had people everywhere to the point where nobody could be helped taking to the bathroom. Nobody could help with vitals. Nobody could help with procedures and stuff like that. I'm just stuck in the front. And the RN acted like she couldn't do her own vitals. You know what I'm saying? She acted like she couldn't do her own vitals. So this is strike 10,000, okay? I'm like, okay, listen, Shayla, get the money. Just get the money. The day is almost over and stuff like that. So she comes back from her lunch and stuff like that. She's stressed out. And I'm like, listen, it's almost over. Listen, I'm gonna help you out when I can while I'm doing the tech work, and I'm switching back and forth. So this is why I say in my contract, I'm saying you're not getting a 3-for-1 special out of me. You're not gonna switch me as a tech and then switch me as an LPN in the middle of the day because you don't have any relief. Remind you, this is California. We have to take lunch. You know what I'm saying? We have to be relieved. 2 15s, 1 30-minute, you know what I'm saying? That's not happening no more in California. Let me tell you that now. As a person that loves working in California, that is not happening no more. People ain't taking their lunch no more, barely taking their 2 15s, and you are supposed to. But since we are in a surge, a crisis, nobody has a release, right? So I go back, I help with the vitals and stuff like that, and I just suck it up. You know what I'm saying? I suck it up. So finish the day out, cool. The guy, the charge that was there, he appreciated me for doing the work and stuff. That, granted, I wasn't supposed to. So the next day, I come into work, I look at the sheet again. They got me as a tech again. They're like, oh yeah, we need you to transport. We need you to go do the extra vitals and stuff like that. And I'm telling the girl, because it's a new charge, right? And remind you, the people that they put in charge, they've never done charge before. They just forcing these people to do these jobs, right? I just know it because they come in with these stank attitudes. They don't want to do it or anything like that. Okay, cool. So I'm looking at the page, and I'm like, by this time, I'm fed up, because if you knew all your techs and half of your nurses have called out, you should have been worked on getting agency up in here. You know what I'm saying? Here you is, you trying to stick it to the travel nurses that's here and make them do all these jobs. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at the paper, right? And I'm like, yeah, so can I talk to you about something? I went to the charge while everybody left. Everybody had their assignments. We already had huddle. And I talked to her while nobody was there, right? So I'm like, you know, I'm letting you know that I'm an LVN, you know what I'm saying? I'd rather take my own patients. First of all, and the ED was actually pretty cool. I was liking it. You know, when I was saying that, you know, I was kind of like an ED, I was asking in the comments and stuff like that, I was actually pretty much digging it. But once you have me start doing tech work, I'm going to begin to hate it. You're going to put me in a position to freaking hate this job when you could be paying a tech, whatever money that the travel techs be making now. They could be banking right now, but you got me doing this shit. You know what I'm saying? And I see, granted, that other people like, oh, okay, so you a LVN, this is easy working. No. I'm not breaking my back no more. Them days is over. I went to school for a reason. You know what I'm saying? So by this time, I'm really fed up because it's going to be a day-to-day thing. And this is not what it said on my contract. So I put the lady to the side. I'm like, hey, you got me working as a tech. I mean, you're not even switching me on and off with somebody. You just got me working as a tech every single day. And she was like, hey, I don't have nothing against that. They just told me to put you here and stuff like that. And so I was like, okay, well, can I get your manager or whoever that makes the schedule? Let me get their number. So she huffing and puffing and stuff like that. And I'm like, I just want their information so I could just talk to somebody. So she was like, oh, okay. So she's about to do it. Then here comes another LVN. And she's like, maybe she was listening to our conversation in the locker room. And she was like, well, I'm willing to switch with you. You know, I'm not picky. I'm looking at her like, okay, girl, I don't know you. I don't know where that comment came from, but I just let it go because I'm already frustrated. I'm not about to deal with these backhand comments. Like, if you want it, you want it. She was like, I'll just take it. I'm not picky. And I'm like, I didn't ask you to take it. I was like, does she know me from somewhere? I don't know, maybe YouTube. So she switched with me. She took the tech role, whatever that she was doing, the transportation, she took that role. And then I was working inside the ED, passing pills, helping admissions and discharging and stuff like that. That's what I like to do because my day go fast. Boom, 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 boom. I can handle them people like it's nothing, okay? So she took it. Here's the charge. She takes her pencil, she erases it, she switches the name. So we cool, we got it done, right? So I worked in the ED. I was getting that work done. We didn't have no supplies. It was nasty. The floors was just nasty. Let me tell you, the ED up in this place was disgusting, okay? They had the COVID swabs, the COVID specimens sitting on ice, having the water drip on the electricity system. Then you had the housekeeping. They never come into the floor. The last time I seen housekeeping come was between 30 to 45 minutes before my shift was ending. This place was just disgusting, but I'm like, okay, Shayla, just get to the bag, man. It's almost over, man. It's almost over. I just kept dealing with it. You know what I'm saying? This place was beyond overcrowded. So I did my job. I was getting them patients in and out, making sure it was getting treated. I mean, we was having patients that was getting so frustrated. They was there for like at least 8 to 10 hours. I mean, all day with no treatment. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, they walking out, getting frustrated. And here I am. I'm running after them, making sure that they stay, making sure they get treated and stuff like that. Like, these patients were mad because we were sticking them in insulated rooms. Imagine in the ED, that small insulated room, they will put about 10 chairs in this nasty ass room. Even the babies, even the adults together. And they were getting frustrated because you have one room where it's non-COVID. Then you have another one that is COVID. But in the non-COVID, quote unquote, they have pending test results. So you don't know if these people have COVID or non-COVID. So we swapping them together, even the babies, even the adults, okay? Because we don't have no room for these people, okay? So here I am, people just walking out, they getting frustrated, rightfully so, okay? But I'm sitting here trying to help them before they end up somewhere and they complain or end up dead in the street. Like, I'm thinking of those type of situations and stuff. Like, I'm literally taking heat, getting cussed out, whatever. But as long as you getting treated and out of here and you good, my goal was met, okay? I'm going above and beyond. My mistake. So I finished all the day, right? And then I come home to my nice little place that I showed y'all. I get a call at like an hour and a half after I get home, right? And my recruiter's like, so Shayla, yeah, your contract has been canceled. Excuse me? For what? He was like, let me go ahead and look it up. I'm not for sure. You know. Go ahead and look it up. What happened? What did they say? They wrote a letter to the agency and said basically that I was refusing my assignment, that I guess I didn't want to work, and so forth. Just basically lying. Now, if you remember what I said, I asked the charge nurse for the scheduler's number. That's what I asked for. I wasn't refusing my assignment. I wanted to know what the heck was going on. Because here I am working as an LVN, nothing else. You're paying me for one person. You're trying to get a 2-for-1 special out of me. So you want to work me as a tech and an LVN. Now, do I not mind helping the techs? No, I don't mind. I always do it. Sometimes it's damn near myself just doing it. I'm so used to not working without a tech, it ain't even funny. Okay, so to sit there and make me work as a tech at this time and an LPN at this time, it don't work like that. It's not a 2 to 3 for 1 special over here. Okay, so I told the recruiter, I was sitting there hot, like, hold on, that's not what happened. I told him the whole thing of what happened. He was like, well, maybe we'll just talk about it tomorrow, but they'll cancel it. We'll go look for another contract. I'm like, okay. I barely got in this place. At least I got them free staging contracts. The staging checks that I had, So the next day, I'm calling. My recruiter ain't even picking up the line, right? I'm calling again, so he finally picked it up. When it's just weird with these recruiters, right? I call, and he like, okay, so I'm gonna start looking for you. He looking in places except for California. Like, I just like working in California. I don't care. Find somewhere in California. But the people that they were contracted with was the people in Fresno, the Fresno hospital, okay? So I'm like, I can't go there, He was like, well, that's the only people we got going. That's your type of rate that you want. And that's it. I'm like, shit, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, well, can you just keep looking, alert me, let me know in at least 24 hours. So he cuts me off and he's like, well, Shayla, you know, I hate to say this as a recruiter, but I think you should find work elsewhere. I said, excuse me? As a recruiter, you're saying that? Like, he was like, I think you should find work elsewhere because I don't think I have what you're looking for. You know, I hate to say that, but like, you should definitely look elsewhere. So I'm just like, okay, F you, because that's another recruiter that's basically just giving up. Just giving up, or he doesn't find you as lucrative. For real. That's what they do. That's what happened to my last recruiter. And I got rid of their ass every single time. Or I sat there and went to the CEO and made sure I had another recruiter. But I was like, you know what? I'm not messing with this agency anymore. Now, is the agency not so bad? It's not so bad. It's just I hate when recruiters just give up so freaking easy and they don't advocate for you. You're not the recruiter for me. Got rid of his ass. But something else special happened to me within 24 hours. Stay tuned for part 2.